What's going on, everybody? How's it going? I'm on the wrong screen behind me. Let me go fix that real quick. Hello, welcome to the stream. All right, there we go. All right, well, I'm Ian Douglas. I'm the author of this website, techinterview.guide. I'm here to help people get better at tech interviews, and we're just hanging out tonight. Our May giveaway is all done. We're still raising money. Hey, Scrollmaster, good to see you. Thanks for hanging out. Let's see, I think I'm double guessing like whose dragons I've sent out and who's waiting. Yeah, both of yours are sent out. So they're on their way. You should be able to track them as of today. So you should be able to find out where they're at and when they're going to arrive and all good stuff from good old USPS. Hey, Stonemind Research, good to see you. Thanks for dropping by. We're going to be back to kind of our regular schedule of things, now with less dragons. Hey, Zooey, good to see you too. All right, all kinds of folks showing up. Hello, hello. So yeah, we absolutely crushed that goal last month. I was really jazzed about that. Again, all that money is getting matched. I had a few more PayPal donations coming in, so the printers are up and running. They're over on MakerDeck right now, getting a couple of last custom dragons built up for folks, and then the last batch of those is going out. Got a couple of them in boxes here behind me that are going to go international. Got one, I think one or two going to Canada, one going to Australia, I think one going to India. So yeah, should be pretty fun. So hope you're all doing good. What else is going on? Dewey, how's the job been going? You mentioned in on LinkedIn today that you're kind of busy with stuff, but how's the job itself been going? Love to hear all about that. You'll send photos of the daughter and the dragons when you get the chance. Yeah, no worries, no rush. So Zooey, I sent Zooey two dragons, um, and he wanted a bright pink one, and his daughter's favorite color was purple. So I sent him a pink one and a purple one, and she saw the pink one and sort of claimed the pink one, left Zooey with the purple one. It's all good though. Um, yeah, I'd love to see pictures. I printed off a couple more in the quantum filament, which is the two color filament, and they turned out really neat. Let me go grab those real quick and show them to you. So the with the quantum filament, it's two different colors of filament, and you probably saw me showing the blue and red on the stream the other day. Where like it starts to print blue, but then the filament actually is two colors. So like if you look at it, it's actually like two colors, but they change from one side to another based on like where the nozzle is and so on. Um, and so I printed one in a pink and purple filament, and at first glance, it's a little hard to tell the difference. But if you look at the face, you can actually see stripes on the face. If I hold it in just the right light, you can see the light pink on the face on this side, but then it's dark purple on the face over on this side. You can see it better over here on the side. And so just however the filament twists or whatever, it was a lot neater to see in this one, which is gold and purple, but we had a slight small print defect on this one on a couple of the horns on the back. They didn't turn out so great. So I might break those off and see if I can just print just the horns. But this one looks really neat because from one angle you can see it looks purple, but from another angle it starts to turn gold. So I've got some really neat pictures of this one. As far as like how it looks like purple and gold based on which way it's going. And for some reason, the filament also twisted on that one in the exact same spot. And so it's got the same stripes on its face in the gold and the purple as well on both sides. But that quantum filament turned out really, really neat on those. So I'm gonna be keeping this one for myself. I'm gonna see if I can fix up the those couple of horns on its back right here. This part started moving on the print bed instead of sticking down to the print bed, and so these parts were a little wobbly as they were printing. And then the pink and purple one's going to a colleague. So yeah, that's fun. Hey GBAF, good to see you. So yeah, GBAF, check this out. So we got these dragons in multiple colors. That's all the same filament. So this is the cool kind of stuff that you can do with with 3D printing. So, GBev, whisper me your address. I want to send you some 3D printing stuff. I've been working on that mask and stuff that I told you about. So, yeah, it's pretty neat how it moves and wiggles, and all the hinges are all kind of like built up together kind of as it prints. So here's an example of what the hinges look like as it's printing. And so it's printing this up like layer by layer. So imagine that this is sliced into like really thin layers horizontally like this. And where you see the little O-shaped hinges, you know, one's on this middle section, the hinges are sideways, and on this section here, that hinge is kind of upright next to my finger here. And so as it's printing up layer by layer, you know, one of them's printing like this and the other's printing like this, and as it's printing up layer by layer, they kind of close around each other, and then they're solid, they're linked. And so yeah, you can get some really neat effects of stuff moving around. So so I shared the news with MacGyver about the dragons and said like, hey, you know, you were really instrumental help with the giveaway last month, and really appreciate and shared with them how much money we'd raised. And so yeah, we raised almost $1,100, which is fantastic. And then that's getting matched, and then that's getting matched, another $1,500 worth. So yeah, it's gonna be pretty great meeting with that group next month and giving them that money. It's gonna be good. What else is going on? So yeah, I'm just getting the last of the donation dragons printed up. That'll happen over the next couple of days, and we'll get those mailed out, and then we're good to go. So you're still welcome to donate. You can do Bang PayPal if you still want to donate to the fundraiser. Happy to do that. We still got lots of logos and stuff up here. I've been reaching out to folks going, hey, you subbed or you gifted subs. Let's get a logo up here on the screen for you. And some people are kind of dragging their feet. Not mention names, Zooey, but if you want a logo up on the screen behind me, feel free. Father Funk just dropped by, and Father Funk's got their logo right here. And so yeah, I'm more than happy to get a logo of some kind printed up for you for dropping subs and paying for subscriptions on the channel. And all that money is going into this pot. So really appreciate everybody's help. This was all 100% community driven. This amount of money right here was raised by community. So it was really fantastic to see everybody kind of, you know, getting in at the last minute with some PayPal donations and whatever to hit that $1,000 goal the other night. So really appreciate it, and was really happy to do the dragon giveaway as well. We're going to start planning some ideas for October, which will be the next like 3D printed giveaway of some kind. It won't be like big giant dragons. We're still noodling on a couple of ideas here, but we're hoping to get some stuff going. Zooey with more subs. I wasn't trying to shame you into giving me more subs. I was trying to shame you into like giving me a logo up here. But thank you, Zooey. I appreciate that very much. Thank you. It really means a lot, because you're bringing a lot of people into the community that can get help, and see some good names there. Like Need More Coffee Princess got a dragon. Amish Gnome has been by a bunch of times. Wrenches Woodworks is good to see them. And Andy GMB, I think, was in the giveaway the other day. So yeah, thank you. Appreciate that very much. Yeah, got to share that love for sure. For sure. So as I mentioned on Tuesday, we're going to be changing up the format a little bit over the summer. I've got like a bunch of stuff on my plate at work right now to get done over the next 2 weeks. I'm still going to stream on Sundays and Thursdays, but we're going to start changing up the format a little bit to be more demonstration based, and be more mindful about like assisting people with the tech job hunt, as opposed to just me, oh yeah, this is what you need to do. I'm actually going to get in there and help you with it. So if you want me to work on your resume, I'm going to do that on the stream. If you want me to help you write a cover letter, I'm going to do that on the stream. If you want me to help you research a company, I'm going to show you how to do that on the stream, and that's going to help lots of other people. And so we'll be doing that more on the stream. I'm also trying to get in touch with a whole bunch of people who are currently part of 100 Devs. There's a stream going on right now. It's Learn with Leon, and I would love to get rated by Learn with Leon at some point. They got like 2,000 people in their channel right now. I would love to go get rated by them and have everybody drop by and say like, hey, I'm here to help get jobs. So once you learn all these things, I got some ideas on how to build up those projects and how to sort of get noticed by these companies and so on. I know a lot of what they do with the 100 Devs is teaching them like, hey, go find a freelance client, go work on a freelance project, and now you've got professional paid experience to go get a job and so on, or stay a freelancer. But I would love to help those folks out. So what I've done is I've actually reached out on Twitter. If you can go find me on the Twitters and retweet for me, there's a recent tweet from this afternoon that was basically like, hey, if you were part of 100 devs and you got a job, like slide into my DMs because I want to have you as a guest on the stream so that we can talk about what your journey was like. I want to get a lot more folks on the stream and talk to them about what were they doing before 100 devs? What was the journey like going through 100 devs? What was the job hunt like? How did they get a job and so on? I would love to hear their perspectives as well. So if y'all could help me out on Twitter and like go grab that message and just retweet, that would be fantastic. I would appreciate that. So we'll see. I mean, I would love to get rated by by anyone on the 100 devs. They've actually got a whole panel of people that do streaming, and some of them will get like a couple hundred people. And I would love to. And I've actually hung out on some of their streams, and they're really good people. And I've hung out and I've contributed in chat and so on. But for some reason, and I don't know why, I have a suspicion why, I joined the 100 devs Discord and I got banned. I got kicked out. And I don't know who to contact about why I got banned. The only thing I can think of is that I posted a link to the live stream saying, hey, I live stream about career prep. So like if you want help with resumes and so on, like drop by the stream, and they kicked me out. Well, it was shortly after that they kicked me out. So I have a feeling that it had something to do with me posting that link in their Discord, but I would love to get in touch with someone over there, like a mod, and say like, hey, could I get reinstated? Like I'm genuinely here to help people out. Like I've been streaming this stuff for a year. Like I'm not just a drive-by like, oh, I'll help you with a resume and there's some ulterior motive. Like, no, I'm here to help people out. So if anybody knows anybody over at 100 devs, I would love to get in touch with some folks over there. If you can put me in touch, I would appreciate it. But yeah, over the summer, what I'd like to do is start having more people on the stream. And so I would love to have maybe not one a week. That might be a bit much, but like at least a couple of times a month. I want to have somebody on the stream with me where we can hear their perspective and hear about their journey and hear what it's like for them, get advice and perspectives and so on from them about what it's like to be in the tech industry and so on. I don't think the music's playing in the background. Spotify keeps switching over to a different computer for some reason. There we go. The Spotify desktop app for some reason starts streaming to a completely different computer in the house that's not even hooked up to speakers. I don't know why. I don't know why it does that. Spotify's being all goofy. So anyway, so now you hear music. Yeah, now you do. But I just got it fixed. That's why you hear it now. So anyway, so yeah. And then otherwise over the summer, I'd like to do more demonstration about like, let me help you get that resume together. Let me help you with the cover letter. Let me help you with company research. Let me help you, figure out what to study, things like that. Not that I'm going to like dive in on leak code and stuff like that, but I'll probably do a little bit more around like cleaning up those leak code videos. So the one leak code video that I've got, I'll link over to them here in the chat. There's one on there, it's close to 10,000 views, which is pretty great. And I think I got about 700 followers on YouTube and a little over 700 here, I think 800 here on Twitch. So if you're following me here on Twitch, I'd love if you could go follow me on YouTube as well. I'd like to get that count up over 1,000, especially on YouTube. I'm thinking when I hit 1,000 here on the channel, I'm going to do like some big giveaway of some kind. Not sure what yet. Might be something 3D printing related, but I don't know. We'll see. I'm thinking like, kind of an entry level like 3D printer or something like that, and maybe some filament or something like that. But I don't know. Still noodling on that one. I'm still a little ways away, but I'd love to have like 1,000 follower giveaway and do a giveaway that night. But yeah, otherwise, I was just going to kind of hang out, maybe do some Q&A. If anybody's got things that they'd love to talk about, Faint Signal, good to see you in chat as well. First time having you by. It's always good to have new folks and new faces. So yeah, Faint Signal. I'm always curious like how people find the channel and stuff like that. So if you want to drop any context in there, I'd appreciate it. Let's see what else is going on. Yeah, I thought I'd just dip in on Discord and answer a couple of anonymous questions and just kind of hang out with folks. We did a lot of streams last month, for sure. We did a lot of them kind of off schedule and things like that. And so tonight was just going to be kind of a chill night. But if anybody's got kind of questions and topics, by all means, drop those things in chat. If you want to ask a question anonymously, you can send a whisper over to my chat bot, and it'll show up in chat as an anonymous question. Some people feel safer when they've got a way to ask a question where their name is not attached. So I'm happy to help folks out with that. And let's see what else is going on. Oh, Leon's teaching people about how to build an API. I really want to be in that class now. It's like, come over to my channel. I'll teach you all about Postman and how to test your API and how to launch your API and stuff. Faint Signal says, you saw me on Scrimba. Oh, awesome. Recognize me from somewhere else. So I was on a Scrimba podcast, as well as the live video this week. And one of the things that I realized I need to do is actually put a page together on the website of all the sort of guest things that I've done. Because I've been on a number of podcasts and videos and things like that. And I want to get all those links kind of together around like, here's me presenting like interview advice and tech advice and stuff like that. So this week I did a 1 hour talk with the Scrimba group over in the UK about testing, just software testing and test-driven development and the differences in behavior-driven and so on. And they've got that up on YouTube. And so I went in on the YouTube questions or YouTube comments later and answered a bunch of questions that were asked in chat in YouTube that didn't get asked by the moderator, Leanne, during our conversation. So I went back in and I'm like, hey, you know, these were all good questions. I want to make sure that people see answers. So and then I had just added those to the comment section of the video afterwards. But that was a lot of fun. But yeah, I've done a handful of talks and presentations, everything from equity to just general tech advice to building resumes and all that kind of stuff. And I'm pretty active on Twitter around a lot of those kinds of topics as well. I'm also been hanging out on LinkedIn. I kind of want to start a little bit more promotion on LinkedIn, and I'm also debating whether to do a simultaneous stream over to YouTube as well, just to see whether there would be extra traction there. Not sure yet, but it would certainly save me having to like go back to YouTube and like upload the video to YouTube afterwards if I just multi-streamed out to both platforms. It would certainly save on a lot of time there, but not a lot of time, just the upload time. I still got to go in and add the description and stuff afterwards, but I'm still working on the Twitch bot as well to kind of slice and dice things and get all that stuff going as well. Hey, Carmen, good to see you. Thanks for the sub. Appreciate that. Carmen and I had a good chat the other day. So yeah, Carmen, all that sub money is going directly into my diversity and tech fundraiser, so I appreciate that. And for those that pay for subscriptions, they get a logo up on the screen. And Carmen was asking if I could 3D print a silhouette of the dumpster fire and get that up there on a panel. So I'll absolutely do that. I'd be happy to find a good silhouette of that and get that up on the screen for you. So I'm actually going to go move Melly Ruru's Iron Man because I realize my head's kind of covering it. So as soon as I sneeze, excuse me, I'll be right back. There we go. Now we can see it a little better. But yeah, Carmen, good to see you dropping by. Oh yeah, doing the fundraiser was fantastic, and I can't believe we raised all that money. And most of that money actually came in just last month. So I'm pretty excited to kind of keep it going over the month of June until I actually head to San Francisco, and then we'll kind of reset everything. And then as of July 1st, we're going to absolutely reset everything to zero and say, okay, starting as of July 1st, how much income do I make as a streamer? And then all of that's going to go into a brand new fundraiser for another group and we'll give them that money in either late December or early January next year, and then we'll start it all over again. So I've got a couple of ideas of what I'd like to do as a giveaway in October for that, and try to find some way of doing some kind of fun little 3D printed kind of thing. There's these little things that you can get to print called kit cards, and it's if you've ever seen like an actual model car where it comes on kind of like a rectangular square, and you break out all the pieces and you put all the pieces together. You can do the same thing with 3D printing, where you 3D print everything, including the little rectangle that holds all the pieces together. And so my thinking is I'm just going to come up with a whole bunch of those kit cards and bundle those together and give those away. And so I want to do like a holiday theme and like a Star Trek theme and maybe a Star Wars theme and like maybe a Marvel kind of theme, something, I don't know, something where you can like take the pieces apart and like assemble like a little robot or some kind of decoration or ornament or some kind of little toy or something like that. I think it'd be fun. So then people can like put those in stockings or whatever they do or whatever they choose to do with them at that point. Cool. Let's see. We're up to 12 people hanging out today, so I hope you're all doing good. So yeah, we get a little burned out, I think, on doing dragon giveaways, huh? So we'll just wander by here. You can come say hi. So yeah, we got a couple of dragons left to kind of pack up. And did you see the quantum ones when they finished? So this guy ended up with a cool stripe on his head on both sides, but the other one ended up with stripes in the exact same spot. So I don't know if it was something about the slicer, but I would have thought it wouldn't have mattered with the slicer. It would have mattered with like where the filament twisted. So, but this one had it came off the print bed for these little sections here, so these ended up getting a little janky. So anyway, good times. Good times. So yeah, so we're just kind of hanging out. If you've got questions about career advancement and interview prep and stuff like that, absolutely drop that stuff in chat. Otherwise, I'm just going to hop over to Discord, and we'll be grabbing some stuff from there. Hey, Whiskey. Now that the giveaway is all over, we're still raising money for the fundraiser, but we're not giving away any more dragons now. That was last month, so we're all done with the dragons. But yeah, let's jump over to Discord here. As soon as I find Discord in all these windows, there it is. And we'll grab a couple of questions. I'll drop the text of the question in chat, and we'll kind of answer those as we go. And if other conversation happens, that's awesome. And if you've also got questions, you're absolutely welcome to drop those in chat kind of as we go. But before we do that, we'll get to Carmen's question here. So we got a question in chat. It says, what platforms do you recommend to find job postings? It's a good question. I would say Indeed is probably one of the top ones. LinkedIn is probably where most recruiters are hanging out these days. So I'd probably start with LinkedIn, maybe look at Indeed. I don't have a ton of confidence in sites like Dice and Monster because they feel a little spammy sometimes. But I would probably be hanging out on those platforms, like probably most Indeed and LinkedIn. Those are probably the two that are going to be kept most up to date. There's no shortage of job websites out there. It's just a question of the quality of the job posts and whether they're actually up to date. Glassdoor will have jobs. Stack Overflow used to have a job thing, but I think they took it down this year. Zooey says in chat, I like LinkedIn, Indeed, and Glassdoor for research. Yeah, Glassdoor is really good for research for sure. But I would say all three of those are probably going to have job posts. There's also like a third-party site. I'm trying to think of what it was called. No, not ZipRecruiter. It was it's like a third-party website where like that's actually where you end up applying for the job. Now, if it's a really big company like a Microsoft or a Google or like a FANG company, they're going to have their own sort of job portal page. And I know Microsoft uses LinkedIn pretty heavily. So if you go to LinkedIn and you want a Microsoft job, they're tied in because Microsoft owns LinkedIn. But I would probably start with LinkedIn and Indeed, and then maybe look at Glassdoor. Any of these like little fringe sort of sites, I think it can be a little tricky to apply for those jobs because you don't know necessarily like, did someone from that company actually go put that job post online, or was it some random bot that found a job post and it's trying to put it over there? Like, are they scraping job posts from other places? Those would be considerations that you'd have to look into. And then also, is that job even still open? Like, is somebody actually maintaining it, and are they going back and shutting down that job post afterwards? Because you don't want to apply for a job that's already been filled and closed, and they just didn't take it down in a couple of these sites. Now, I mentioned like smaller websites aren't always like viable or legit, but some of them are. Builtin.com is actually a pretty good site, and Builtin has a lot of regional sites. Like we have one here called builtincolorado.com, but you can just go to builtin.com and you can see a lot of region-based jobs there. They tend to cater more to small, mid-sized types of companies because, again, the bigger companies will have their own job portal of some kind. So I think you could probably do a little bit of research and try to figure out from there. I did hear one piece of advice that said if you find a job, if you find a company that you're interested in, and you find a job post that you're interested in, you can do your research about it. But when you actually want to go apply for the job, go to the company's webpage, click on the jobs, and apply to that job through their website. And don't necessarily apply for that job through LinkedIn. That shows a lot more interest because they can see, like with tracking cookies and whatever, that you actually went to their website and that it wasn't just, you found it on LinkedIn or you found it on Indeed. But if you go to their website and you actually find the jobs post from there and you apply for that job, then it shows that you've actually done a little bit of research and you've read about them and so on. I'll be back in just a minute. I'm going to mute my mic for a sec. Hey everybody, sorry about that. Cool, let's look back through chat here. Team Blind is pretty cool. I hadn't heard of Team Blind. I'll have to go check that out. Invisible Network is a great way to apply if you just have your resume shine with less bias. Oh, interesting. I haven't heard of Invisible Network. Can you drop a link for that, Zooey? Stone Monkey Research, I saw your Bang Dragon as well. So the Dragon giveaway is all done. We're still raising money for the Diversity in Tech fundraiser, so you can do Bang PayPal if you want my PayPal data, or you can go through the Tech Interview Guide website. There's a Buy Me a Coffee link on there. But yeah, we're not giving away any more dragons. The 3D giveaway is all done. The dragons I was showing were some of the custom dragons that a couple of people had requested, and I'm 3D printing some other ones. So actually, well, not requested because the PayPal donations is for the MacGyver dragon. These were the Imperial ones. So the quantum filament ones, the gold and purple one is for me. The pink and purple one is for a colleague. But the MacGyver dragons are actually printing right now. So all of the donations that came in where people wanted a specific color of dragon, you can still do a donation. So if you still want to donate $10 or more, I will custom print you a MacGyver dragon in any of the filament colors that you see in the photo album. You can do Bang Dragons, plural, to see the photo album. And I'll 3D print you a dragon in any color that you see on there, as long as I've got the filament. I'm running out of a couple, like I'm almost out of the red and gold. I'm printing that one right now, and then I think I'm going to be out of that filament until I order some more. But I'll 3D print a dragon if you do a donation. Otherwise, the giveaway is all done. It's all wrapped up. Cool. So let's go grab some anonymous questions here from Discord. And again, if you want to join us over on Discord, you're welcome to. I've got a whole channel over there of just anonymous questions. And so I collect questions from online, and people DM me questions, and we'll have conversations about it. And I usually tell them, like, hey, would you mind if I talk about this on the stream? And I don't put their name on it and say, oh, this one was from Zooey, or this one was from whoever. I never put the person's name on it. It's the point of being anonymous. So you're welcome to DM me anytime on Discord. You can DM me here on Twitch. You can find me through the website. I've got my email on there, I believe. You can do Bang PayPal and get my PayPal email. You can email me there. If you subscribe to the email series, which I talk about right here, gotta remember which side I do things on. So the email series over here, you can reply to any of those messages and get them to me as well. Word doc or PDF? Are you asking about resume formats? Doc format for the computer, and .pdf for the human. I think that's what I think between Jonan and I think that was the one thing we agreed on. I think applicant tracking systems are getting a lot better at reading PDF files, but doc files, from what I've heard from other recruiters, doc files parse better. But PDF files are much easier to read for humans because they're not as subjective to like font sizes and all that kind of stuff, because it's all embedded in the portable document format of PDF. Hey Polybius, good to see you. Thanks for dropping in the other night. Yeah, no problem. Your camera's went in seizure mode. That's not good. Yeah, so Polybius is a 3D maker on Twitch. You can go check them out if you're interested in 3D printing and making and so on. Polybius, I was trying to ask you the other night what audio mixer you use, and you mentioned it, and I tried to grab like a screenshot as you like kind of pointed your camera down at it, but it ended up being really blurry, and I can't locate it with a blurry image. I was going to try and do a Google image search, like go find things like this picture, but it was too blurry for even Google to go, what the heck is this? So if you could drop the brand and model of that audio mixer that you use with your microphone, I'd love to check it out. I know it's an XLR and I'm using a USB-based mic, but I'm always curious like what the possibilities are and how they could be beneficial, because I know this mic is very directional. Like if I turn my head too many degrees this way, you don't hear my voice very much anymore. And so I'm trying to think of different sort of microphone layouts here, because I've actually got a second Yeti, and I've debated like putting this one off to the side over this way a little bit and having this one over on this side a little bit, so no matter which way I'm looking, I've got a microphone picking up my voice. But I haven't fully decided or committed on that yet. Plus this one's more my travel mic. I'm going to be traveling for work coming up, so I got to get used to like packing all this stuff up. Got a new travel backpack and stuff like that. That actually turns into like this giant suitcase on your back kind of thing. So I'm looking forward to doing some travel this summer for work. So yeah, I got an extra like camera and like a little tripod thing for that. So when I'm out and traveling, I've got like a new portable monitor. If anybody's seen the ads for the espresso monitor, just the portable monitor, I picked up one of those. Works paying for that, I think. So yeah, I'm like gradually getting all these little travel gadgets, and then I'm gonna take like just one of my really small computers that I can do streaming on, because I'll of course have my work laptop, but I don't want to do like tech interview guides streaming on my work laptop. So Mob PC, but low nose tech did a review on one that may be better. Okay. PC, cool. I'll check that out. Let me just go make a quick note of that. Alrighty. So yeah, so let's go grab some questions, and then you'll see little markers show up over here in chat, and that's just for me to kind of go back and like clip those videos out later. I'm almost done with the software on that. I've got a little bit more work to do on my Twitch bot, that when I hit the buttons on my Stream Deck, it actually sends the timestamp up to a database. And then when the stream is over and I hit the end button, like shuts off all my lights and stuff, that it'll go back and it'll say like, at this time, what did you talk about? At this time, what did you talk about? And then it'll actually go in and like put that stuff in the database that my other script needs to go through and actually make like the short videos and the audio and stuff like that. So I'm looking forward to getting podcast audio back out again for folks, and all kind of stuff. So thanks, Plovius, for grabbing that for me. I'm going to go grab that video. Just going to paste that over here, youtube.com, and we'll just go figure out how to watch that later on. There it is. Yeah, it's a much clearer picture than the one I took off a screenshot, so thanks, appreciate that. So yeah, so I'm just going to grab a couple of questions out of Discord, and again, you're welcome to ask questions anonymously at any time. I've got this anonymous thing where you can just send a whisper over to the bot over here in chat. And if you're watching this on YouTube later on, you're always welcome to come by the live stream on Twitch. I do stream Thursday nights and Sunday mornings, and you're welcome to come by and ask questions as well. Or you can contact me through the website, through PayPal, through like all these platforms. I'm also Ian Douglas 736 on most social platforms, so LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, and so on. You can send me messages there. I collect all those messages and I put them in Discord in my anonymous questions channel. And so your name is never going to get attached to it. And sometimes I'll go through and rephrase it just so the question's a little more clear. And then we'll pull them up on the stream like this, and we'll answer a handful of them. I do have one resume submission so far. And so if anybody wants a resume review, you're welcome to actually send me over a PDF. Carmen, you can send me a PDF of your resume. Not specifically for Carmen, but specifically PDF format. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait till I get 2 resumes at a time, and then it'll be like resume review on the following stream. So whenever I get a second resume, we'll do a resume review with the one that got submitted the other day. And so whenever I get 2 of them, we'll do a resume review on the stream. And if I happen to have a guest on the stream that night, they're going to help me review the resume too. I want to get their thoughts and inputs as well on what do they like about the resume and what would they improve or what would they change. Because I think that kind of sort of feedback loop is going to be really helpful. So PDF heard. All right, cool. Let's dive in on a couple questions. So I'm going to be pasting the text of the question in chat, kind of as we go. So we're grabbing an anonymous question out of Discord, and it says, how should a developer evaluate a company that they want to join? I've covered this quite a bit on the stream, and I've got some material over on techinterview.guide about how to do company research. I've also got some YouTube videos that I'll try to link in the description of this a little bit later, where I actually walk people through how to do company research. At a really high level, the goal is to figure out what's important to you, and then how do you actually go research those companies. If you come tune in on the live stream, over the summer of 2022, I'm actually going to be helping people do exactly this. So if you want to research a particular company, drop by the stream and say, help me research this particular company, tell me the company name, and I'll show you my process. At a really high level, as I said, you need to know what's important to you. And then once you know what kinds of things you're looking for, like, is the company 100% remote? Do they expect you to go back to the office at some point? What's the company culture like? How big is the company? How big is the engineering team within the company? How diverse is the company? Do they allow pets at the office? Is that important to you for good or bad reasons? Maybe you have really bad allergies and you can't go to an office where they allow pets. These are all considerations you need to make as you're researching a company. And then once you have that list, then how do you go research those companies? You can find some of that kind of information online. You might find the occasional post about, here's our employees and bringing their dog to work day, or, whatever that may be. Or, hey, our company is 100% remote, or our company is starting to come back, or we leave that choice up to the employee. If you're comfortable coming back, you can. If you want to stay remote, you can. It's not always possible to find this information. The nice thing about not finding information is when you do outreach to people at the company that you want to get to know, you now have the opportunity of asking them very specific questions about, hey, I'm trying to research your company and I can't find any information about this or this. Do you have a couple of minutes for a phone call where we can discuss these two things? And now you've given them the option of you know, do you want to do a phone call? Do you want to reply to my email? But then they also have the questions ahead of time, so you're not really catching them off guard. Because if somebody sends me a message and says like, hey, can we get on a phone call? I want to ask you a couple of questions. I'm like, about what? Like, I want you to tell me what the questions are going to be about before I commit to doing a phone call, because, you know, I don't know what you're going to ask, and I don't want that phone call to be a waste of anybody's time. If you're going to ask me questions that I can't answer or don't want to answer, although I try to be really transparent about a lot of what I do as a developer, there are some things that I just can't answer or won't answer. And there are lots of good sort of vibes that come from, hey, these are the questions I want to ask you. If you have some time to kind of, you know, look into these questions, get back to me with some answers, I'd love to chat about these things. But also giving them the choice of, do you want to do like a Zoom call or a Google Meet or Skype or whatever, or would you prefer to just do this asynchronously? And if you have time over email, could you let me know some answers to these things? And only give them like 2 or 3 questions, and that's it. It really restricts the amount of time, and it shows that you've got a lot of empathy toward them about how they're going to spend their time. Those would be the really high level kinds of things. If you want more information on that, you can go check out my YouTube channel. I'm just Ian Douglas on YouTube. And you can go find that channel and just search my videos for company research, and you'll find some information there. You can also go over to the website, techinterview.guide, and I've got a free resources section on there. And there's a spreadsheet that you can use to kind of look at those qualities that you look for in a company, and then instructions on how to use that spreadsheet to do that company research. Alrighty, well, that was that one. That was easy. So what I do in Discord then is when I finish answering that question is I kind of mark it with an emoji, and then I go and I edit the question to say answered June 2nd, 2022. That way anybody going by the Discord, you can kind of go in and you can see like when I asked that question. So then you can go kind of find that episode on YouTube if you want. And lately I've been doing a pretty good job on YouTube of like putting in the little channel markers or whatever they call them, for like, you know, what I did at a particular time in the video. And so I've been writing down like this question came in chat, this question came from Discord, and so on. And so you can go check that out as well. Cool. How's everybody else doing? We've got about a dozen folks hanging out with us tonight. What else is going on? Carmen says about a resume, mine sucks, let the roasting begin. I don't roast people's resumes, I just make suggestions. And you don't have to take my opinion. You don't have to take my suggestions. It's just objective opinion. That's all it is. So it's all good. It's all good. I'm just here to help people out. But yeah, I'm really looking forward over the summer to having guests on the stream again. It's been a while since we've had a guest. I think it was early April. I think we had Rizal on here. So yeah, it'll be nice to have some guests on the stream again. But yeah, I do want to go build a page on the website that kind of outlines like all the different places that I've been a guest on other people's podcasts and streams and things like that. Like we had I can see his face. I can't think of his name now. I got to go look it up. It was kind of a I'll scratch your back, you scratch mine kind of thing. I did 2 videos for him on YouTube, and he came on the stream and we chatted for a little bit, and that was a lot of fun. I'd have to go look that up now. I'm embarrassed that I can't remember their name. I usually have a better memory than that. Taylor Dorset. I was going to say Taylor, but I was worried I was going to get the last name wrong. And yeah, we had Rizal on here. Actually, wow, that was March. It's been a hot minute since we've had a guest on the stream for sure. I was on the LM show. Yeah, I'm on the LM show quite a bit, but I'm mostly thinking like where I give like career advice and help people out with resumes or company research and things like that. So things like the company research, or, you know, how to build a resume, how to build a cover letter. I do a lot of these workshops with code schools around the country. And so I'm always looking for contacts and whatever. If you know a technical school or a code school that's looking for, you know, career preparation kind of stuff, I'm always happy to kind of help them out and volunteer some of my time. Hey, Mrs. Ellen, good to see you in chat as well. You're looking as you cook dinner. Awesome. Hope the cake and Nas turns out great for Loyal. And just kidding. It seems to be all the guy ever eats, so But yeah, it's good to see you in chat. Thanks for dropping by. But yeah, I've been on a number of podcasts and YouTube videos and stuff like that. So I got to go like collect all those things again. And I've also done like guest posts on blog posts and so on. Like there was one that actually went up on Dice recently where somebody quoted me. They were asking my opinion of like, how do you recover if something goes bad in an interview? Like, what do you do? So I shared some thoughts. What was interesting is the person was a freelance writer for Dice.com. And the whole time I'm like chatting with them and giving them my input and giving them my insight, I'm like, should I tell them? Should I tell them? Should I mention the fact that I was the lead plaintiff in a class action lawsuit against Dice.com and won? Should I mention that as part of the introduction of like, here's Ian Douglas from Tech Interview Guide. By the way, P.S. he sued Dice.com a number of years ago. So I didn't mention it as part of the intro, but I'm curious whether anybody would... I'm curious whether anybody at Dice is like, wait a minute, we don't want that Ian Douglas guy quoted in an article. What the heck? So it's amazing that Loyal is still alive with his diet and his farm duties from what he was saying on the stream the other night. It was pretty wild for sure. Between broken finger bones and cracked skulls and so on. Good times. My goodness, no wonder he's into helmets. All right, well, let's go grab a couple more questions. So yeah, again, if you've got questions, feel free to drop those in chat. Carmen says, on top of it being submitted as a PDF and sucking, it's scented. All right, I think it gives a little something extra, don't you think? Yeah, that perfume really comes through the screen for sure. Hey, Whip, good to see you as well. Oh wait, that's why people are doing the Bang Dragon. I need to shut off one of those automated messages from the bot. Let me go. You can do that. I can't restart the bot, so you're still going to see the thing like, hey, if you want to win a 3D printed dragon. But that's not a thing anymore. So apologies for that. If you're hoping to get another 3D printed dragon, they are all gone. Let me go shut those off here. I think I will change the message saying, like, if you want to donate, because I still have permission from Guybeer to do the dragons. So as long as you donate, I can give you a dragon in return. So to be clear, you're not buying a dragon from me because it costs way more to print and ship than what you're donating. But any donation over $10 is very much appreciated. It's all going into this pot of money. That pot of money is getting matched. And my employer is matching all of that up to $1,500. So I'm already maxing out my employer contribution on that. So pretty stoked about that. But yeah, we're not doing the 3D printed dragon anymore. So you can ignore this message in chat right now. You're not winning a 3D printed dragon anymore. I mean, you're still welcome to subscribe to the daily email series, but we're not doing the drawing anymore. Mrs. LM says in chat that perfume is a nice touch, but the truth is, depending on the industry you're planning to go into, it might impress them. Maybe. I actually worked with several people who have sensitivity to perfumes, and I actually have a sensitivity to certain kinds of scents as well. And so we had to like totally change like laundry detergent and like the little dryer sheets and all that stuff to only use unscented soap and unscented dryer sheets, because even just washing my clothes in that stuff and like putting on shirts and stuff, I would get really stuffed up and couldn't breathe. It's not really like an asthma thing, it's just you get a sensitivity to it and you kind of choke up a little bit. But I've also worked with people who are highly sensitive, like any kind of deodorants and things like that. Like they would let people know at the office, like, hey, if you see me like start to choke and walk away, it's not you personally. It's just I can't handle certain kinds of scents and stuff like that. It's a tough way to live. Like for more than a decade, I couldn't even walk down like a perfume aisle or like the scented candle aisle at any sort of major store. It was a bad thing to do. So it's a quote from Legally Blonde. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Polybius has the right idea. Bang, no dragon. Hey, Noob Coder, good to see you as well. Good morning to you. It is getting on in the evening over here. Minus the PDF and sucking part. They only accepted .doc format. Okay. Yeah, there's no more giveaway, Daddy Wazzy. Thanks for dropping by. But there's no more giveaway, no more dragons. Those are all done. Um, there is a chat thing that is automated by my bot saying like, hey, there's a giveaway, but you can ignore those. The giveaways are all done. If you do want to donate to the Diversity in Tech fundraiser, though, any donation over $10, I'm permitted by a designer to gift you a 3D printed dragon in return for the donation, and I will print that and ship that out to you. But that's only for folks that donate. The dragons are now extinct. Yep, they are being rehomed. I've got one left to send. Actually, Mrs. LM, if you're hanging out in chat, this one is headed for you. I took some close-up pictures, and I'll send those over to Loyal. I'll text them over to Loyal. But this is the pink and purple quantum filament. It looks a little blue on my screen because of my studio lights. But it's actually got stripes on its face, the same as Loyal's helmet. Like the quantum helmets, where it ends up with the stripe there. You can see the stripe on the face. So it's a nice light pink and purple, but the actual shade of pink and purple are so close, it's a little bit hard to differentiate. But that's going to be headed your way very shortly. The drugstore chains here have put all their perfumes right at the entrance. Yeah, it's awful when that happens, or especially around holiday season where like people are out and they're like spraying the perfume in the air to try to attract people. It's like, stop doing that. So yeah, the dragons are really neat. It was a really fun giveaway. So again, we're trying to think of what to do for the October giveaway to kind of prepare ahead of time for the holiday. I want to like stockpile them a little bit so it's not this mad crush at the end of like all this 3D printing. Because my kids usually do some kind of event at school where they sell 3D printed stuff as well, and so I don't want to compete with printer time for the stuff that they want to print for the winter carnival thing that they do at their school, and like trying to do a giveaway and stuff like that. So we usually start 3D printing their stuff in August, September, so that by the time we go to that thing, like we usually sell out everything that we take. We print like vases and little characters and all that kind of stuff. And I have a feeling that these new Kali dragons are going to be a big hit, especially if I can get more of this quantum filament or the glow-in-the-dark sparkle dragons and things like that. I think they'll be pretty fun. But the kids are also into like fidget spinners and fidget cubes and things like that, like the infinite folding cubes and things like that. We've 3D printed those in the past, and they always sell out like 100% of the time. So we make a couple $100 going to that and selling those. So we'll start printing that stuff, and I'll be kind of trading off printer time between what I want to do for the October giveaway and what they want to do for their winter carnival. So that's partly why we're trying to plan ahead a little bit, so we can get some of that stuff printed and ready to go and sort of stockpiled a little bit for that giveaway as well. Do strong food smells bother me? Not a bit. I love the smell of food. Like fresh baked bread, like that'll get me every time. Or just about anything cooked with cheese, like that melty cheese kind of smell is great. Yeah, I love cooking. Like sense of cooking food is fine. It's just perfumes, like very flowery sort of perfume smells, just really choke me up. So. To definitely sell those beauties. Well, I don't have a commercial license to sell the dragons. So I would have to get a commercial license from Magai Beer in order to sell these at the Winter Carnival. So if that's something that my kids want to print and sell, then I'll get the commercial license from Magai Beer. They gave me written permission to give these away as part of the Diversity in Tech fundraiser, but I don't have permission to sell these. And I never heard back from Flexi Factory. They have a Patreon thing where I can subscribe to Patreon for their $10 a month tier, and that gives you a perpetual license as long as you're subscribed to their Patreon, that you can sell their designs. So I might do that, in like October, November, December, and just give them like a couple of months worth of that. I mean, it's totally worth it, honestly. Like I would be happy just to pay like a one-time, like here's $50 or $100 and just let me sell it kind of perpetually. But I'd be happy to do the monthly one as well. So, so yeah, Daddy Wise, you got the right idea. Looking up all the help commands there. So that's all the bot commands that I've been kind of working on here. Zooey's got a question in chat as well. So let me go start a marker and I'll answer that one. So we had a question drop in chat. It says, I'm realizing that Java has a ton of syntax that I'm still learning every day. They're going to start assigning me some projects soon. Any tips on speeding up the process, or should I get my tech lead to understand that I'm still learning it? I think because you were so new in the industry, and I'm answering this question because I know the history of the person in chat that's asking. They know that you're new to Java, and there is going to be some expectation that you're going to finish those tasks a little bit slower than somebody who's very proficient in the language. At the same time, they're hoping that you're going to get up to speed really quickly as they give you these projects. As you work in a particular technology, you're going to learn more about it, and you're going to learn how to apply that knowledge over and over again. Knowing how to interact with different data structures, like all the different kinds of hash maps that Java has, the different kinds of arrays and lists that Java has, and how to use, like, when do you build a list of something, when do you do it as an array list of something, what kind of hash map do I use, because they've got like a dozen different kinds of hash maps, and understanding the limitations. They're going to know that you're not going to pick all of that stuff up overnight. Their hope is that you're going to ask for help when you get stuck. There are certainly some good like best practice guides and whatever that you can find online, or you can ask at work, like, which data structure should I be using? Should I use this one or this one? Don't just go to them and say, which data structure should I use? You should go to them with a specific question and say, should I use A or B? And let them just say, or you could even go to them and say, I've researched A, I've researched B, here's some pros and cons that I found. Which one do you think would be most applicable for this particular part of the project? Should I use A or B? And hopefully their answer can kind of educate you a little bit on, this is why we want to choose this one over this other one. Or they might say, hey, you know what, neither of those are going to be applicable, we should probably do this. Or maybe we need to build our own class because we have to store things a slightly different way. And so I think their expectation is that, A, you're going to do things a little bit slower, but you're going to pick up that pace over time. As you learn that technology and as you learn all the things about Java, you're going to get faster. You're going to get better as you constantly apply that knowledge over and over again, as long as you're staying in Java. If they have you switching between languages, it can be really hard to sort of hold on to that knowledge. But a lot of developers are like, you know what, I don't remember how to do time zones in Python. I have to go look that up every time. And I've been writing code for 26 years. I've been writing Python now for, 10 years or more. And I still have to go look that kind of stuff up. Like, even with the bot that I use here in Twitch chat, like, some of the stuff that I'm, like all the little markers and stuff that I do, use time zones. And some of them have time zones and some of them don't, and I have to figure out how to get the time zone in there. And I have to go look that stuff up all the time. And so as a developer, they're going to understand that you're not going to have the memory to go memorize everything about the language, that you are going to have to go look these things up, but that you are going to get more proficient at it over time. I think that would be the primary expectation. If I were like your lead or if I were your manager, that would be my expectation from there. The follow-up in chat says, they do know I understand logic, so they know I'm not coming at this completely clueless. No, of course. But as far as like learning the fundamentals of the language, it will take time, and they know that. And Java especially is a very verbose language because there's so many different ways that you can accomplish a task. And some of the ways that you accomplish a task end up being a lot more code than others, but there are pros and cons to all those approaches. They know that already because they've been working in this technology for a while, and they know that you're going to be learning these things as well. So I wouldn't worry too much about it. I would say if you start feeling behind or if you're worried about it, you can always ask them and say, this is where I'm at, this is my status. If you do like daily stand-ups, that would be a good time to say, this is where I'm getting a little stuck. Does anybody have time? Like, can anybody help me for like 20 minutes to like just get over this hurdle, and then I'll keep working. A lot of people are fine as long as they know that you're trying and that you're just not hitting a bump and go, I don't know what to do. But if you hit a bump and you say, okay, well, I'm going to dig in a little bit and I'm going to try it myself for 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. But if I don't make very much progress in that time, then I'm going to reach out for help. I think that shows a lot of wisdom, where no matter what level of developer you are, that you're not going to waste an entire day trying to figure something out. That you're going to work at it a little bit yourself. And then when you go ask for help, you can say, I've tried this, I've tried this, I've tried this. I'm still getting stuck on this. Can you help me out? That way they know what you've already tried, so they don't say, oh, well, go try this. And you're like, I already did that. They say, well, go try this. Well, I've already done that. So if you can take them a list and say, these are the things that I've tried, what else could I do? And then I think you'll get faster answers. And I think it'll also show them that you're willing to put in that work and that effort yourself. Daddy Wesy, appreciate the $10 tip. Thank you so much. So all that money is going to go in that pot. So let me go update that real quick. And then throw that on here. Now up to $1,085.78. Appreciate that. And then I'm going to go match all that money too. So appreciate the tip. Thank you. Thank you. Don't memorize things you can look up. Yeah, I agree with that. There are some things, though, that they will expect proficiency where you don't have to look up, like, how do I iterate over a hash? It's like, well, you could use a key set, you could use an entry set in Java. Those would be like my two primary go-tos if I was writing Java code. And I've done them enough that I don't have to go, like, look that up every single time. But, you know, there's probably like 50 ways of iterating over that hash, but those are the two that I know. And so that's how I'm going to start building the code. And then during code review, if someone says like, hey, if you do it this way, these are the benefits, then I'll learn a third way. And then next time I have to iterate over a hash, I've got another option of, do I do it the two ways that I know? Do I do it the way that they taught me last time? If that's kind of the preferred method for this company, then I'll go do it that way. And so again, you'll learn that over time, and as you apply the knowledge over and over, it'll kind of stick for you. Definitely need to remind myself that it's okay to ask for help. Yep. I saw a really good video last night. It said there were 3 things that are really hard for humans to say. The first one is, I'm stuck, or like, I need help. The second one is, I need someone to talk to. And the third one is Worcestershire sauce. That was hilarious. But yeah, asking for help is really hard, especially in the tech industry, especially like guys like me. I've been doing this for 26 years. Like, it's humbling to have to go ask for help. Like, I was literally chatting with a coworker today going, hey, I have to submit these talks. I'm really bad at this. Like, how do you write like a headline and an abstract? Like, I'm horrible at this. I'm submitting them and I'm not getting anything accepted. Like, can you help me with this? And they're like, yeah, here's what I would do and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, that's so much better. And so I started submitting it. I'm like, thank you. That was amazing. You know, and they turn around, they're like, hey, by the way, if you got some time, I'd love to chat about JavaScript, and could you help with this or that? I'm like, yeah, I'd love to help. So we're kind of building each other up in different areas. So it's important to be able to ask for help, for sure. Core Count says, I couldn't write a talk abstract. It's tough. It's tough. I basically boiled it down to a formula of 3 sentences, where the first sentence is kind of the hook of like, how are you going to get them excited about it? The second one is sort of telling them what they're going to learn, and then the third one is what they're going to get and take away from it. So the first sentence is like, you know, are you tired of waiting for your backend developer to build that API? Then the second sentence is like, you know, I'm learning how to make a mock server using the Postman product. And then the third sentence is like, now you can do it on your own, kind of thing. And so like, kind of like you want to tease. The whole idea around marketing is like you're promoting the better version of someone's self. Like, that's really what you're selling them. You're selling them a better version of themselves. And you have to kind of do that when you're writing these abstracts, is like, what are they going to take away that's going to make them a better dev, a better team, a better manager, blah, blah, blah. But I'm so bad at it. Like, I'm bad at marketing. I say it all the time on the stream. It's like, I'm bad at marketing. I need all of you to help me out. I need you to go like retweet, or I need you to go like hit like on all my YouTube videos. Like, actually watch the video, because if you just go through and like them all, YouTube doesn't really count it because you didn't actually watch the video. But pro tip, if you're bored at work, you can just start playing one of my playlists. Just turn the volume all the way down, or just mute the tab. Even better, just mute the tab in Chrome, and then just have it watch all of my videos, and then just go through and like all of them after that. That would be a big help, because YouTube looks at how much of the video you watched and then whether you liked it. After that, they take all that stuff into consideration with their algorithms, apparently. So yeah, if you could help me out with that and like and subscribe on YouTube. If you're watching this later on YouTube, like and subscribe, hit the notification bell, whatever, I don't know. Like, I'm really bad at that. So hook, line, and sinker, that's right. Don't be shy, it should build teams more quickly. Yeah, exactly. Good times, good times. All right, well let's go grab another question out of chat. So Zooey, appreciate the questions, by the way, and everybody else that's asking questions. I'm gonna scroll back through. I feel like I missed something else here. Yeah, I'm probably going to change the donate command to just kind of point over to PayPal. PayPal gives me 100% of that donation. Stream Elements keeps a little chunk. Buy Me a Coffee on the website keeps a little chunk. But if you donate through Twitch, they keep like 50%. And so if you donate $10, I only get 5. So I'm still gonna count like the whole $10, and I'm still gonna match that whole $10. But that's not how much I actually get as a streamer. I think once you hit partner, you get like a bigger percentage, but when you're only an affiliate, they split everything 50-50. Like subs, gift subs, prime subs, all that stuff, you only get like 50% of that money, which is fine, still free money. And so if you do bang money over in chat, you'll see kind of my transparency about like, here's how much I'm making. And I do want to like grab screenshots and stuff too, so people hopefully trust that I'm telling the truth over there. I've got no reason to lie about it. But I'm really looking forward to giving all that money over to Hack the Hood next month. Or actually, this month. Gosh, it's June already. So in a couple of weeks, in mere weeks, I'm going to be sitting down for coffee with their executive director, and we're going to chat about how I can help as tech interview guide and help them out and help their students and so on. Have them come by the live stream and ask questions, or maybe do a workshop for them on resumes or cover letters or something like that. So should be a lot of fun. Don Bezos needs his cut. Yeah, exactly. Well, actually, Bezos isn't there anymore, so it's whoever the new guy is, I guess. But cool. So yeah, I think we'll do a couple more questions. And we'll kind of wrap up. So like I said, we've just come off a long streak of doing a lot of streams. So I do want to kind of pace myself a little bit and kind of not wind down, but I do want to get back to the twice a week and only do like an hour and a half kind of thing. So let's grab a couple more of these anonymous questions here. Yeah, I think this would be a good one to answer. So again, I'm going to drop the text of it in chat so y'all can see it. And it also helps me kind of go back later and see what the question was that I asked and throw these markers in and stuff like that. All right, we got one more anonymous question from Discord. It says, if a recruiter said, I would love to set up a time for you and I to connect on your feedback after doing a job interview, is that a good sign? Is that a positive thing? Generally, yeah. I mean, if they're wording it like, I would love to set up a time to give you feedback, unless they're a psychopath, they're probably not doing that to give you bad news. So it's probably like, hey, the team really liked you. We want to like kind of keep moving forward, or maybe that's the point where they're like, we're ready to make an offer. So if they're using, like, if they're literally using language that says, I really want to get together and like give you that feedback, because also a lot of companies don't give feedback. So if they're sending positive sounding words, like when we talk about things like sentiment analysis, if the sentiment analysis of the message sounds positive about connecting with you to give you feedback, it's probably a very positive sign from the recruiter. I would probably take that as a very good signal that they're either moving ahead in the interview process or they're ready to make an offer at that point, depending on what part of the process you're in. I would definitely take that as a positive outlook. If they just say, hey, have you got time for a quick phone call? That's pretty neutral. That could go either way. And I would say, like, unless they're being like overly positive in the message, I would, the realist in me would say, like, plan for the worst and get surprised by, good news. Although I know that that's kind of the stance of the pessimist, is like, always expect to be disappointed and then you're never disappointed. But I think if a recruiter sends you a message like, hey, have you got a minute for a phone call? That could also be a good thing, especially if it's like a quick turnaround, like, hey, have you got some time to hop on a call really quick? If it's bad news, they'll usually say like, hey, let's schedule some time to have a chat or something like that. You can sometimes tell from the text and sort of the tone that you imply from the text of what they're writing. whether it might be good news or bad news. In some cases, it's really hard to tell, though. But if they're using positive language, as was mentioned in this question, where they say, I would love to set up a time for you and I to connect about your feedback, if they literally drop the word love in there, like they would love to set up time, then that's a really encouraging sort of positive trait, and that's probably an indicator of good news. Short and sweet. All right, let me go mark that one real quick. Answered June 2nd, 2022. Can't believe it's June already. This year's almost half over. It's ridiculous to think about. How's the year almost half over? Wow. It's bizarre. So what else is going on? Still got about a dozen folks in chat. Thanks for hanging out tonight. Appreciate it. Yeah, what else is going on? So I'll go take a quick peek and see who else is here. Oh, Tech Dinosaur's hanging out in chat, but being very quiet tonight. Chad Dev. Paint Signal, Father Funk. Gbav. I don't know if Gbav is still around. Toronto dropped by. It's always interesting to go by and like look at the list of people that kind of like stopped in real quick and then left. Core Count says, procrastinating fixing my Helm deployment to OpenShift. Interesting. I don't think I've ever used OpenShift. I've looked at it, I've considered it, but I don't think I've ever actually used them as a platform. I'm trying to remember, is that Red Hat's platform, OpenShift? I think it was Red Hat that made OpenShift. Yeah, I remember, man, Red Hat Linux was my jam back in the day. It was probably my favorite, and then they kind of split with Fedora. So I stuck with Fedora, and I actually have Fedora running on the machine that's running the screen back here in the background. So I'm still a big fan of Fedora, but I'm actually setting up a couple of Linux laptops for my kids with Ubuntu so that they can get into a little bit of development. They're interested in doing some Python development with Minecraft and maybe doing some JavaScript and Ruby and stuff like that. So Paint Signal feels nervous about not knowing what Helm deployment is. So yeah, Core Count, if you want to drop some stuff in there about what Helm deployment is, you can run code-ready containers for local. Yes. Messed up with my Git branches and lost something. Uh-oh. Well, the good news is you can do. Is it Git ref? Now I want to go back and look, but there is a way that you can go back and you can find all the branches, even if you've overwritten it. You can actually get a lot of, it's reflog, Git reflog. You can actually get all of the old references, and you can kind of like go find anything in your commit history, as long as you've committed code. If you've committed it at some point, you can always use Git reflog and find like the Git commit reference, and then you can say Git check out that reference, and it'll roll you back to that commit no matter what. So as long as it's been committed, you've never lost it. Helm is a way to template Kubernetes deployment. Mrs. LM says it's so good that you're answering these kinds of questions. I didn't get this kind of help when I got out of college. I needed a CV and had to find examples. Yeah, I didn't get any of this help either coming out of college. There's like, all right, it's time to go get a job now. We're like, okay. It's like you try to get back in the mid-90s, you had to literally mail your resume, or you'd email the resume to a company and you get a letter in the mail saying no thank you. So they wouldn't even email you a no thank you back then. They would have a little form letter literally that somebody was typing and signing with a signature saying, no, we don't want you. And I've talked on the stream in the past about how I actually kept a file folder of those letters, of all these rejection letters, and I actually like kept them for a long time going, look at all these people that never wanted me. And then I decided enough was enough, and it was becoming emotionally toxic, and so I took that file folder full of letters. There were probably 24 letters, and I took it camping with me, and it started my next campfire, and haven't thought about it ever since. Yeah, we had to figure out how to email people. Exactly. Yeah, back in the good old days. Back in the good old days, I had a floppy disk. It was a 3.5-inch disk, and I could fit my entire email client. I was using Eudora Mail at the time, and I fit every mailbox with every message I had ever received ever, all on one floppy disk. And now like one email message comes in and it would like fill up that whole floppy disk with all the styling and all the stuff that they put in them now. Yeah, we're old for sure. We are definitely old. I need to have a button that plays like the Jurassic Park theme song or something in the background. So yeah, old. Docker to Kubernetes to Helm. Oh, Kelm customize Profit? Yeah, maybe. Core counts and Simon LM. We keep hanging out in the same places. See you tomorrow on Saturday. Hope the Bull Horse delivery goes well. Yeah, good times. I'm not going to make it on Saturday, unfortunately. I've got a bunch of stuff to do on Saturday, so I won't be around. But yeah, I hope that stream goes well. I might try and tune in a little bit if I can, because I'm kind of curious how well Loyal's going to hold up on a super long stream like that, but we'll see. Silly old folks, I'm only 40. I'm only a couple of years ahead of you, Stone Monkey Research. I look like I've got more years than you than that, but I'm only a couple of years ahead. Actually, I'm almost a decade ahead, so I don't feel that old. Good times, good times. Cool. Let's see. Yeah, I don't think... I mean, if there's no other questions, I think I'm going to start to wind down for the night and go chill and relax a little bit. I had a pretty busy day. So let's go find someone that we can start to queue up as a raid. And go see if anybody's online. Hey Loyal, thanks for dropping by. And Bet's good to see you as well. You're in your early 30s, but you feel old. Yeah, I think Loyal and I kind of beat everybody here. Although I think I got Loyal beat by quite a bit. So yeah, thanks for dropping by. So yeah, the Dragon giveaway was a big hit. Can't believe we raised almost $1,100. And most of that came in the past month. So that was really fantastic, having all the subs and the gift subs and all that stuff coming by. It was just an amazing amount of community support. So my heart grew 3 sizes last month. It was really incredible to see community kind of step in and help out with that. So you're old, I'm young. I used to send somebody a message on their birthday every year because they're older than me. I'm like, just remember, no matter how old you get, I'm always younger than you. Just enough to really tick them off every time. Yeah, let's go see if we can find somebody to raid. See who's online. Rufio's online. I typically like to find somebody who's doing some sort of software. Ideally someone with like diverse background doing software, or that just isn't a white man in tech. But let me cycle through a few folks here and see who we got. We got Juicebox Hero, which is probably one of my favorite Twitch usernames. Big Jano rating with 7. What's up, Big Jano? Appreciate that very, very much. Zooey, good to see you. Thanks for dropping by. Jano, thanks. Appreciate that. Let's give you
welcome.
Give you some blinky lights and some applause or some hellos or whatever happened when that cheer button hit. Appreciate that very much. Thanks for the raid. We're actually just getting ready to raid out ourselves. So coding time, not anymore. Yeah, thanks for swinging by. Any software hot tub stream? Not for me. You don't want to see me in a hot tub. I guarantee that. Let's see what else we got going on here. So we might do Juicebox Hero. Medallion Stallion's doing some YouTube hacking. I was checking out Big Jano, but they raided over here, so we can't go raid them. Yeah, I think our best bet is going to be Juicebox Hero, so I think we'll head over there. But yeah, thanks for dropping by. So Loyal, I was just telling Mrs. LM, I'll probably drop by the stream tomorrow night, but I'm not going to be able to swing by for much on Saturday. I got a bunch of stuff happening on Saturday, but I'll swing by if I can and see how well you're holding up with with the helmet print and all that stuff. And Loyal, I've got some photos that I want to send you of a quantum dragon headed your way. I think you're gonna get a kick out of it. It's got stripes on the face like your helmet. It ended up being pretty cool. So let's go get that raid rolling over here. So we'll see you over on Juicebox Hero. Make a ton of noise when you get over there. They are a really cool like coder, and their name is Mel. You can call me Juicebox. They actually work for Twitch, and they're learning how to code. So we're gonna go give them some support. So we'll see you over there, and we'll catch you over there. We'll make some noise when we get there, and we'll see you on the next stream. So I'll be back on Sunday. Have a good weekend, everyone.